Hey guys, coming at you with my assignment 2 explanation video. I don't know. Anyways, first I'm going to show you what my assignment 2 actually is, and it is a tic-tac-toe game. Now, you can either do one player, which has you as the X, and you can play anywhere, and then the opponent, which is the O, will play. He will, as you can see, block off attempts to win. And it could result in a tie, or get lucky, win the game. On player 2, it just has 2 people go at once. And then it'll calculate who wins. And then quit button, quit it off. Now, how I actually did this is, see at the top I imported a lot of different classes to help me, and here are just all the variables I used. I have all the GUI variables I made for this, and yeah. So as you can see, I'm going to just start with the actual start menu, and that is what runs when the game starts. As you can see here under the main, creates a new object called game, which is a board, and when board is run, you just run start. On start, it will create this menu you see here at the middle of the screen using this line of code, and it creates this, loading all the proper action listeners and mouse listeners needed for this. And if we take a scroll at the top, you can see it adds com player here, versus player, and mquit. We scroll up to our action listeners. Or it adds play 1 and play 2. Those were just the names. Anyway, dumb. And you can see these just shut down and then run game and do that. And that's how I get from each GUI screen to the next. I just run a new method and shut down all the previous ones. And depending on which action you choose, it'll change the play state. And that play state comes later. As you can see in game here, when this runs, it will create the actual tic-tac-toe board. So if we choose the 2-player, create this tic-tac-toe board here, and it's just a board with a 3x3 grid layout, and each panel has a mouse listener on it, and it also will be painted based on what, if it's an X or O in the actual array. To save all the variables, I have an array called board, which stores a char. And then if we go to check out the mouse listener, we can see that it goes turn, update, win, then bot turn. So if we go to turn, we can see it updating. Where is turn? Turn, we can see it changing the actual values in board, and changing the turn display at the top here, which you can see. This is the turn display. You can see I did this by labeling each panel a number based on their position on the frame, and then each of those correspond. I will read that, save it to 2 integers, and then change those under board. And then after that we have the update win, which will just change the win state to either a tie or a win or just nothing. And then if it does happen, it will launch the GUI, and it uses find win, which will manually search through everything and find if there's a winning position anywhere. or if there's a winning row anywhere, and it'll return the char that won that row. You can see here, I created 3 different methods that run in this using for loops, so I don't write as much code, and it's simple. And yeah, and then I just use states to see if you win, and then those states will go to the end, which creates the new frame, and on that frame it will say either you won or lost depending on that, which you can see in win text, which will just print out based on the char given, and the win state that's currently in. And I just have shutdown, which will close all programs. And then, more importantly, I have bot turn, which uses bot.bestMove. Now bot here is the AI made for this game. This is a rule-based AI that runs, and it'll just, its #1 priority is check if the center's open, and if it is, then it'll go in the center. And then it checks if it could win, then it checks if it could lose, then it checks, then it just randomly selects a corner because those are the next, and finally, if all of those come up with nothing it can input in, it'll just go through the array and find the first available spot. You can see in the checking each win, I had to manually do a lot of for loops and if statements to check each possible combination of a win. But that's how the AI works, and then it'll just return what the best possible move is, and then the AI, I have the AI move there, input the correct char, which is O, update the turn counter, and then update the win to see if there's a win. And I'll paint the new text. That is how my game works. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.